Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here, and I made predictions about what was going to happen in 2016, and I don't remember them, so I figured I'd kind of react to them real quick just to see what kind of came, true. I'm going to make some pretty quick 2017 predictions, as this year has been very weird that Sony's released two cameras in the same month, essentially, just a couple months apart with the A6300 and the 6500. It's very confusing, but let's see what we have from 2016, and let's see if anything even came true, and I'll see one prediction that did come true. So here we go. I have one of my videos that I pulled up from December of last year of 2015. Once again, we're rounding out 2016 at this point, and I just thought it'd be fun. So let's just hear real quick on what I predicted may happen for 2016, and let's see if it happened. So here's some predictions I have for 2016. So in the photo and tech market, I feel that there's going to be, the Nikon D5. And there obviously was a D5. That's pretty much how they do it at this point. A soft announcement, which whatever that meant. But the Nikon D5 is said to have about 20 megapixels. It actually have 4K video. So Nikon might actually wake up in this. So it does have 4K video. The D5 does a little bit better than the 500, but it's still not that good. And you still get an extreme crop with that D5. And I still think you're limited. I don't even know because I don't have it. I still think you're limited on how much you can record with that as well. So let's keep going. Thing. The GoPro Karma, the drone might come true. So the GoPro Karma was one of the biggest rumors and everything like that, and we obviously know how that turned out now, where it's been an epic failure for GoPro, and they've lost a lot of credibility and stock within that because of its just falling out of the sky and having power issues. But that also did come to fruition. They're going to really hurt themselves as they've taken a dive in the market as it is, or they're not, or the Nikon thing might become official, and they will try and compete with Sony for a full-frame mirrorless camera. Now, this is one of my big predictions that I made, and especially when I got to 2016 in February when I made a video with a friend of mine, Mark Puckett, Photo Video Show. We did a long video with him, but we were talking about predictions, and here's what I thought that Nikon should do and what they would say, and it pretty much goes off of that. You're still a Nikon shooter, primarily. Yep. So what are you actually looking forward to in 2016? So in 2016, there was going to be a lot of things. There's obviously the Canon 5D Mark IV, which is rumored to be announced either at the end of February or March. You're going to have the Canon 1DX2 or whatever, which is being announced in a week or two. So there's all that stuff. You have the 500 D5. But the thing I guess I'm most excited about, or that I think really needs to happen, and we touched upon this a little bit, was that there was the rumor that Nikon bought out Samsung's mirrorless full frame. Now, Samsung, if you don't remember, was a company that got into the game in cameras, and they were actually pretty strong. They just didn't really have any backing to it, any lenses or anything like that, but they made some very strong mirrorless cameras, and it got some people very interested. I'm sure you can find some pretty cheap now at this point, but this was a big deal when this all happened. But as a lot of you know, Samsung does not make cameras anymore. All their stuff is discontinued, but that was the biggest thing. But that obviously did not happen. Line. And I'm excited for, and Canon has been putting out patentable full frame A7R2 compatible. So my whole big thing in short was that they would release some sort of mirrorless camera to compete in the market, because this is where they have been losing with a lot of that stuff. But Nikon was really the only one to respond. Canon released their M5, which is an upgrade from their EOS M3, but meh, it's a strong camera for what it is, but it's not really anything impressive in my opinion. But Nikon came out with their DL line, which is finally just coming out. I made this video when they announced it early February, so just a couple weeks after that first video. And they are mirrorless cameras, but they're not full frame, and they're just very odd cameras. If you want to read more, I'll link this down below about the DL. It have 4K videos on these and everything like that. Interesting fixed lenses and everything. Very weird pricing. I don't know. I don't see them selling that much at all, because you can't adapt your lenses to them, which is the dumbest thing, in which they would win if they needed to. But essentially, that was the big thing that I was predicting, and it obviously did not happen. I really thought Nikon or Canon was going to do something very worthwhile this year, and they really haven't for the most part. There was the D500. That intrigued a lot of people, the 80D earlier in the year as well, but nothing full frame-wise. That is great. That is needed, because into the full frame into those type of camera is going to also kind and do a little bit more. They're going to have another really high-end type of drone that's going to come out, or UAS So DJI, obviously, with their Phantom 4 and now their Phantom 4 Pro was a big one, and I think that pretty much wraps out what I have
you have
for
to
the
register
year.
these. And be that next thing to P1s or 2K will really start buying into systems is that they will increase their full frame and if not crop sensor type buying into systems is that they will increase.
So that was a Sony prediction as well, with Sony released their G mount lenses from this year. But that's really all of what everything I predicted from 2016. Some of it did come true from what I was hearing and everything I was gathering, but obviously the big failure was the full frame mirrorless, and I think that's pretty much the biggest one as well. I mean, for 2017 predictions, Sony's going to come out with, I swear to God, 2 more cameras. They're going to come out with an A6700, and maybe they'll start the A7000 line, and they'll still jip things and have odd pricing on some things. I still think Nikon's going to do an upgrade to at least one of their full frame cameras. I don't know if they're going to, I'm backing off of this mirrorless thing. I do think that they're going to have the update to the 750 because that was in 2014. Now we'll be heading into 2015, so it'll be something different there. So I'll dump my 750 and grab whatever's new if I think it's worth it. They need to have something with touchscreen. They need real 4K capability and just something that makes sense. And an articulating screen would be very nice. Canon, I don't see them doing much with that line. They'll have another T7 or they'll do a T7i type of thing. You know, cool, but, you know, nothing super impressive, especially in the full frame line since they came out with the Mark IV. I think, you know, Nikon will just push out all their same stuff. I don't think they'll do a D620 or anything like that. They should update the 810 to something else because it is falling a little bit behind at this point, even though it's a megapixel king that a lot of people love. Fuji, they're making strides on everything already. They just pushed out a lot towards the end of the year, so I don't see them doing too much, especially with their medium format coming out. Sony, I think they're going to update the A7S or A7R2 to the 3, and they'll have like an A7 III as well, so there might be a bulk load of that, but look forward to the A6700 and the A6900 as that should be coming out as well. Olympus will probably push out one or a couple little more pens or something like that, but the Panasonic GH5 is going to be the biggest thing that needs to happen for them to get some success this year. And we don't know a ton about it because they're not telling us anything. What are some of your predictions? Let me know down in the comments below. I think we're going to see a couple more lenses that we haven't normally seen, and I think we'll gather thoughts from there. What are some of your 2017 predictions? Glad some of 2016 came true. The most important ones did not come true, and some of them were a bit of a letdown when they did come true. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a little bit long, but it's pretty cool to talk about. Let me know down in the comments below. Let's have a little bit of dialogue. What's going to happen in 2017, or what do you want to happen in 2017? Let me know down below.